If I die tomorrow,
I know that my battle was not
all a game.
As the pieces moved across the board, I knew that I was just a pawn in law enforcement's game.
Upon hearing the news, I knew we would never be safe at school,
My
hidden.
skin is a patchwork quilt of fresh wounds.
It's a never-ending battle, and my friends are all playing
Checkers.
not
Chess.
I remember thinking about my life and how cops are supposed to
serve and protect.
But we see what happens.
And the blood drips from their bullets down our bodies.
And we all go back to the way things started.
When I was 10, I had a cop at my door asking me strange question after question about my friend.
Complacency masked as concerned.
The spirit king of stark white laughs as the pawn moves and gets attacked.
The separation of the squares, black and white lines.
Little did we know.
The man at the door was just playing
Games.
Not checkers, but
chess.
The next day,
I saw my friend's memorial on the news.
but he was just playing.
hide and seek.
The school day.
Started out
Fine.
Everything similar.
But not quite the same.
We all showed up to the same day, but didn't play the same game.
The hair on the back of our neck stands.
As the air gets thicker.
Something moving.
A shadow of a mood dripping like honey onto the shoulders of our peers.
And then we had to get in a closet.
In a sick game of
Hide and seek.
we sit in our shells
Hide me on.
and wonder if it's just another practice drill.
We do our best to pass the time.
Some of us talking and others watch the ceiling.
And then our teacher, with tears in her eyes, tells us to hush. Because
This
Was not all a game.
where the hiders knew where to hide, but the seekers knew where to find us.
And as we sat in complete complacency, we played.
Rock.
Paper.
Scissors.
My skin is a patchwork of my own making.
Our words when people like small needles.
Like cutting paper with dull scissors.
Effective but not quite exemplary.
I cake myself in makeup, but no amount of beige can cover the red.
She hears a pounding in her heart.
In her brain.
Rock.
Paper.
Scissors.
I cut out another piece of patchwork.
And another.
And another.
And another.
Pound.
It's not all a game.
Checkmate.
Found you.
It's not all a game.
Checkmate.
Found you.
It's not all a game.
Found you.
It's not all
Found
a
you.
game.
If I die tomorrow.
I know it was not.
All a game.
Do you like stories?
I love stories.
Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted for more, but there are stories being hidden from future generations.
How do we learn from the past when the impressions that we make hardly last on innocent minds in the sun picking dandelions?
How will they learn their kindness? Won't we let fools rewrite history to their will, hide behind the Bible pages, shoot the butterflies with paper-thin wings?
Where are the words that should be fisted in our hands?
The defense of man.
You may ban simple phrases on pages. You may set our italicized faith on fire.
The flames may keep you warm, but the ash won't change a thing.
Not our protests.
Our screams, our cries for equality.
Not our humanity.
Give us, this is a war on identity. Give us space on the page.
Our textbooks might have been born yesterday, but we weren't.
We remember history. We've learned a thing or two from the textbook of bruises, slanted news.
Fuses you refuse to ignite.
To recognize this fight.
Recognize that we built history. We're building history brick by brick with our pain and tears.
With our joys and triumphs.
We built the walls of your palace.
Painting it won't remove our handiwork.
We believed in a better world.
And we forged paths towards some citrus sunny somewhere.
Where all letters are sent, envelopes not sealed but healing, their journals hidden under pillows, dreaming of freedom of speech, get to finally be seen.
There, the butterflies with paper-thin wings get to breathe easy.
We've learned to breathe easier.
Even in your burnt and blacked-out sky.
We've learned to find our way.
Like the butterfly's instinct to fly.
Leave behind bullet-hole stories. Why
Won't you let us behold the whole story? Putting holes in your wings 'cause of your holy book.
Give us the whole story. Like we want the whole rotisserie.
Chicken!
You're a chicken.
So cowardly you won't meet us in the middle of the road.
You destroy what you don't understand.
You don't understand our words.
You don't understand our way.
You don't understand.
But maybe if we reached out for knowledge.
Instead of pushing that red button on demand.
Destroying what we don't understand.
Things could be different.
All we want is growth.
We want to learn to spread paper wings, patch up our bulleted sky with watercolor stories for all to see.
We are passionate, truth speakers and seekers. You can't plagiarize.
Lie.
Paraphrase.
Demonize.
Cut away our stories. We're taking back our paper wings.
For my friend who is 3 minorities too many to feel safe performing this poem.
Who's been attacked her whole life for who she is.
She has olive skin and a sunset flag.
In a world that has always viewed her as lesser for the things she cannot change.
She's afraid of driving because she might get pulled over for no reason.
I'm a terrible driver, but I never have to hesitate before getting behind the wheel.
Her voice has been taken away from her, so we speak for her.
She's always lived in fear, but now more than ever.
Her sister, who doesn't have the same melanin, texted her following the election,
urging her to carry her ID for safety.
Only 16!
She's in fear of being falsely detained against her will.
She has protested,
Spoken at board meetings,
written passionate poems,
and now she is forced to be a silenced,
though documented,
American citizen.
For my classmates, dreadlocks, always different colors.
A vibrant rainbow shining around her, but people only see the color of her skin.
We walk into a restaurant, the manager thinks we're up to something.
A group of trucker boys at Buffalo Wild Wings stares.
Her school told her they cannot stop white boys from yelling the N-word.
I said months fearing she'd be deported back to Congo.
She's only safe because her race isn't the one being targeted.
For now.
For my stepdad.
Completely sunburnt because he believes Mexicans are immune to the sun.
He should be safe. He's American, half white, has a European name.
I speak clearer Spanish than him.
But his Hispanic heritage makes him a target.
I never thought of him as brown.
I just thought of him as my dad.
For the mothers whose lives were saved by a controversial procedure.
I've been reading stories about women wanting children but needing abortions due to health complications.
Waiting until the situation became life-threatening so that doctors can legally help them.
Protesters outside clinics call them sinners
and killers.
So the choice is a life or death matter.
It's scary to think that could be me one day. For my sibling,
who loves emo grunge bands and goes to heavy metal concerts.
Whose gender identity is illegal.
For my peer, who stood up and screamed in the cafeteria. Her father voted for a man who rapes women,
and no one seems to hear her. For my lab partner,
who flashed our entire biochem class.
So trapped by her own body that she tried to break free, said if I have to put up with my body, others do too. For my neighbor,
who took her own life.
Because the world wouldn't treat her the way she deserved to be treated. I shouldn't have to say goodbye
to a 14-year-old.
To everyone who has been turned into more of a political topic than a person.
I'm sorry that being born has become an issue instead of a person to help.
No one's life should be up for debate.
Your race shouldn't be your defining factor.
Gender shouldn't determine the rest of your life. Sexuality shouldn't restrict your fundamental rights. Because you are our community.
The people who've been there for us.
The people we love and care about.
Not an issue to be solved.
If you feel alone, look around.
This is for all of us. For all of you.
For my friend.
I am a fragmented soul. I'm so incapable of attaching a thought to itself that I break up perfectly good sentences. Why? Because I want a longer page? Because I want to sound smart? Because this is how dogs speak. Short, fragmented, sharp, bark, 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 and it all leads up to the howl. I'm not a dog, but I bark like one when I write. Discussing my past is how I chase my own tail, not remembering that it's mine, that catching it would put the taste of blood in my mouth, as if I could expect anything else. I promise to laugh at all the right times, but with the torch in my hand and the smoldering bridge between us, but proving that my shelter dog fear of love is stronger than my humanity, I just can't help it. My throat is crawling with bugs, and my fur is on fire, and nothing matters, and I just realized that scratching, howling, chasing cars, writing, talking, dreaming, it's all the same thing. There is no point, no purpose when a dog shakes its toy in its mouth like that. You know, that aggressive thrashing as if it can't control itself at the joy of having, the joy of holding something limp and unmoving in its jaws. I'm not a dog, but I bark like one when I write. And dogs who laugh alone are really just coyotes, so don't leave me here. At least pretend to laugh. Imagine that this, the dog stuff, the fire, the biting, is all still a metaphor. Even though I'm dirty and there's mud on my paws, I brought bugs into the house and I'm sneezing on you, but you wipe my snot away and you hold my face in your hands and you tell me I'm a good boy. I'm not a dog, but I bark like one when I write, and I've said this all before, but dogs can never let their sleeping selves lie. A dog will make the same joke over and over until nobody's laughing, and it's so desperate for a scratch behind its ear that it headbutts an uncaring hand and whines. It licks its paws, it's never satisfied, and it has a peculiar obsession with its mouth. Biting, barking, chewing, licking, it eats things that make it sick, and it knows it. So, I admit it. I am a dog, and I bark like one when I write. Who else lives with such misery and passion? If a Chihuahua and a Great Dane are of the same name, I suppose I might fit in somehow. After all, there's nothing human about the way I need love. Fighting, howling, forgiving every transgression despite ruminating over my own. I want you in my life, but I'm too territorial, too sick, too impulsive to make a tangible contribution to your life. I bite too hard because I hope you bite back. I ruin everything, and yet I'm irreplaceable. I bite, and yet you love me. Despite everything, I'm supposedly your baby. You hold my face in your hands and you call me a good boy, and I still think you're lying, but it's a cool suggestion that I'm anything more than a pathetic, scowling, disease-ridden dog.